That's the same one?
I paid $700 to save.
Right.
US.
Right.
Oh, God. I paid $700.
Yeah.
Put your arm on his. Like you're flying. Who is it? You're gonna hit him or something.
That's Steve.
Oh, what?
And you picked up yet another copy of All-Star Comics number 58, and I don't even own one yet. You bastard.
Well, what can I say? I am the Power Girl fan here in this room. Like, come on, like.
You got two of them now.
Yes, I do actually, and
I think you're starting to fight right now. That's
well, you know
on.
what? I like being first, having first on this show. We just had the first Golden Age book, and this is a first here for this show. This is a first CBCS graded book. In other words, the main competitor is CGC.
The new kids on the block, but they're doing a good job.
Yes, anecdotally, people are saying, like I said, they give you good pricing, slightly better than CGC, and their turnaround times are about the same, but they're a lot stricter if you're submitting books. So
Yeah.
now, and I instill confidence collectors that if you're getting a book that's graded 7, it is truly a 7 book. And this exemplifies that. Now, of course, to use a football analogy, the best defense is a good offense. And like, I know you wanted this book, so I had to buy it. Now, you're right, I have a CGC 6, so I improved on that. So I tried to play Godfather. I gave him a deal where he would actually acquire this book, but he nixed the deal. So what can I say? I gave him an opportunity to get it still, even after I bought it.
That's okay. I'm going to Fan Expo at the end of the summer. I'm going to find myself an 8.0 in CGC, and I'll beat you eventually.
Well, with a 6 and a 7 graded already, I can take these books to a con like the Fan Expo this year, and if I see a CGC 9, I could probably basically trade them with no little money exchange and have a 9 CGC or something.
10 years from now, you will be able to see our episode of our exclusive store with nothing but this one comic book and every grade in existence. We'll have 100 of them, and you guys will still be bickering.
Well, the point is Jose 2, Paul 0.
Oh, and just a word of note: CBCS was actually at the at the Comic-Con. So that's the first time. Yeah, they were there.
Cool.
So if you wanted at this Comic-Con, you could have taken your books in, given them to CBCS for grading. So yeah, that's the first time that's ever happened.
Well, that's cool. Let's see if they show up at the Fan Expo in the fall then.
Yeah. Nice pickup, Jose. I'm jealous. Very nice pickup. Okay, so these are two of our less expensive finds of the weekend. Less expensive, yes, but still nice books. Now,
10 and under.
This is our 10 and under segment. Another cheap buys, and for stuff you can find for not a lot of money, look what you can get.
yeah. Now, the one on the left is Mike's.
Yeah.
Number 64, that's Sergeant Fury.
Now, Paul has this, and he's got it in his Who's Your Daddy box. He always pulls it out and shoves it in my face. When I saw it for $10, I've got it too now.
Yeah. I've got a near mint copy. It's one I actually showed this on my very first episodes way back in the day.
Mine's not as nice in condition. It's got some issue in the corner here and stuff like that. But it's probably a 6.5 or a 6, and I'm just fine with for $10.
Yeah, and I paid, as you can see, it says a $6 tag. That's exactly what I bought it for. It's a very nice condition, and it's I think he gave me $1 off, so I actually paid $5 for it. But
for a $5.
Yeah.
A $5.
Now I don't know. Did you guys notice that I bought this at Hagenland, but did you notice Big B? This had the smallest little booth.
I didn't even look.
I basically strolled by it, took one look, and just walked on by.
It's disappointing. Yeah.
Different strategies this year, I think. Pendragon has all his stuff out, all his wares like usual.
Yeah.
A lot of guys just had wall books. Like for example, Forest City had wall books. And $3 books. So I guess they wanted to get rid of their $3 books.
They had two extremes. They had the big stuff on the wall, and they had the little cheapy stuff on the long boxes.
Yeah, but the volumes was just the cheap stuff. They had only a couple of boxes of the middle stuff.
But Big B's display, the Big B's booth was the size of a postage stamp, and I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
Anyways, but just something I noticed. So so I'm flipping through the cheapies books, and this was, I think, Hagenland, and I'm always able to find a couple good deals there. Yeah.
The guy's like a used car salesman or rug salesman. There's one guy you can bargain with. It's the guy at Hagenland.
That's for sure. Okay, so these next two books are Mike's. Wow, two beautiful, fantastic 4 issues here. So, Mike, talk to me.
All right, so picked these up at Hagenland, and the wall books being crazy and all, my strategy is just to fill in my run, and I mean, I did well on these in the fact that these are both got first appearances.
Oh, Mike, you did some key mining. You struck some
Yeah.
precious metal.
So 89 is from 1969 Kirby cover, and that's the first appearance of Slave Master. And the 113 is from 71, and it's a John Fushima cover, first appearance of the Overmind. Now, I mean, it's so obvious. It always has, you know, the name of the first appearance right on the cover and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One was 45 or 30 bucks, and then the other one was like 25 bucks. They're both a two-bagger easily in US dollars. I've did more than double my money on those. So why pay the ridiculous popped prices on a key book on the wall when there's stuff like that sitting right in front of your eyes in the bins?
That is amazing, Mike. Really, really nice find.
Yeah, that's definitely an extra base hit off the wall in right field. Mike hit a two-bagger for that one for sure.
Yes, yes.
Okay, these next two are mine. Not going to spend too much time on them. I think Mike already showed where Creatures Roam #1 in our
Previous
Halloween
Halloween
episode.
episode,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I just picked these two up at the con. The #1 issue is actually in very nice condition. Got a good deal
Better
on
than
it.
mine, yeah.
Yeah, it's at least a VF. It looks like what you pay about $30.
$20 for it. $20.
That's a good deal.
And #2 only cost me $6. So yeah, they're okay. Again, these aren't particularly rare or expensive books to begin with, but they're cool. #1 came out July 1970, and it's actually a reprint of Journey into Mystery #65.
Cool.
And #2 is it's a reprint of Tales to Astonish #7. So they're cool little books. Didn't cost me a lot of money. And as I've said many times before, I like kind of the whole horror kind of thing or the scary book. So this I thought was kind of cool. And yeah, that's it. I don't have a whole lot to say. I just like them.
Pretty
Oh.
books, pretty books.
Well, what I could say is that if I could yoink one book, I would take that Where Creatures Roam #1.
#1, yeah, it's in very nice condition.
Okay, these next two books are Mike's books, pickups of Action Comics, numbers 428 and 445s. Here we're going to talk about the covers, the juxtaposition of the family values goodness of the one on the left with the boys looking up at the poster of Superman, and the kind of sexy nature of the actual one on the right with her waiting for her man
And
and
the symmetry of it.
and the symmetry and that big phallic
duality.
symbol she's telling in front of. So, I mean, whole spun family goodness and some sexiness in the other one. It's cool juxtaposition. Very cool pickup, Mike.
Two $5 books from Comic Book Addiction. I like hitting those up. I mean, that's where I got my Dazzler #1 from.
Yeah.
Good to see them there in their presence. And for these, you know, $5 books, but in around the 400s, the mid 400s like this, $5 each, can't go wrong. They're
Especially not with those covers. I was
cover
just
appeal. They've got some age to them, and as you know, I don't know if you know, but DC's reboot in June or whatever, Action Comics is going back to the old number, so it'll be back to like 900 and something. And
Yeah,
publishing twice monthly.
It's hard to believe back in the day, even when these were done, Action Comics was over 400 at the time.
yeah, and we're talking here about
These are
mid
about the
late
70s.
yeah, mid late 70s.
Yeah. So yeah, fantastic finds, Mike. And if for $5, I mean, come on, seriously.
Can't go wrong.
I mean, a new book is going to cost you $3.99.
Yeah, and if they're charging the U.S. price, it's close to $5 anyway.
Yeah.
So what can we say of ending all this? No brainers.
No brain, that's for sure. Fantastic pickup, Mike. Really, really well done. And this is Jose's final book of the night. Of course, Jose doing a little bit of the old one-upsmanship here on me after I picked up the Ghost #1 earlier this year. You picked up a CGC #1. I can't believe you.
Yeah, well, I had to do it, keep it out of your grimy little paws. I actually had to take a pause on this book. I was with Mike and he was with me, and actually it's interesting. This is a wall book, of course, and it's interesting that it was right next to that Harley Quinn #1 variant.
Yeah.
Adam something, I think Vaughn or something, or like. They had that book for $2,000 because it was signed by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. Wow. And I couldn't believe it. And here you have an early Bronze Age book, a #1, one of the flagship horror titles from DC for $100, and it didn't seem to get any scant attention, where everyone was wooing and awing and gawking at the Harley Quinn #1 variant.
I don't get it. Yeah, I
It
don't.
doesn't make any sense to me.
So I went to have a cigarette, got some air, and I thought to myself, God, $100? For a VF, I mean, it's going to cost you $60 to get it slapped. I'm paying $40 for a VF book, Ghost #1.
Yeah, I paid $100 for my non-slabbed.
Exactly.
Raw.
I marched right back in there. Needless to say, I bought it because, like I said, I didn't think it would be there, and I was worrying the whole time I came back in there. Is it going to be there? Is it going to be there? I am so glad I picked it up. And of course, yes, the one up to finish now is in play. I have a CGC graded VF. You have a raw VF. And Mike doesn't even have a number 1. He's got a VF number 2.
I've got a 2 and a whole bunch other. I collect them, you don't. This
So
is really
in this
upsetting
title
me.
anyway, first place, second place, third
You know,
place.
I wish I'd seen it, because if I had,
You would have bought it.
it would have been mine right now.
Exactly. And that's
I
why
already
I
spent
have
all
it.
my money already by the time we came across this, Jim.
But fantastic pickup, Jose. And at $100 CGC, as he said, in Canada it costs us $60 to still. So you got it for $40.
Yeah.
Or put another way, you stole it.
Yeah. Well, actually, Oogie was gone about 2 baggers. I checked the comic book realm. It's $212.50 on a VF 8. So that Canadian is about $250, $270.
Nice.
That's more than a double.
That's a
More
double.
than a
Wow.
double, yeah.
Amazing, Jose. Really amazing.
Okay, so here we come to the next 2 books, Oogie's books. Wonder Woman. Yeah, he's a collector of these. Numbers
Oh,
2.
lots of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, 216 and 218, 25-cent covers from the mid-70s. And one of them's got Black Canary, who I love. Yeah, I recently picked up the CoverGirl statue from Extra Rare Collectible from Sandy.
Retro rare.
Retro Rare, yeah. It's a great cover. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so these are like $10 books. Just filling in my run for Wonder Woman. I got a lot of stuff from the mid 200s, and fighting for anything under 100 is crazy expensive. So I'm happy with getting these at that price. They're decent grade. Although the one with Canary, a little faded, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's got a little like an overall kind of fading, but not too severe.
Not
I've
too
seen
severe,
I've
yeah.
seen worse faded books that are younger than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And what vendor did you get this from? Do you remember?
these, I'm not sure now.
Is that Forest
sure.
City? I can't remember. See,
They might have been Forest City.
a lot of time I
Yeah.
can tell by the price.
By the way the price tag
by the
looks,
price tag
yeah.
looks. Yeah, but now I can't
'Cause
remember.
I think you have a few that look the same, so that might have been Forest City from these ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you notice from the footage of the con, Mike picked up the Batman 181, and you're probably wondering why we didn't show that book, seeing it as it probably would have been the, the biggest key of the entire con that
Yeah.
any of us picked
Yeah.
up. And there's a story behind that. So Mike,
Little learning process there. I bought the book and I brought it over to Pendragon, Darcy there. I handed it to him and he, just holding it in his hand, he goes, it's not the whole book, something's missing. And I go, well, what? He pulls out his copy that he has on the wall. Do you mind if I open it? Absolutely. Check it out. It's missing. It has on the cover, it says pin-up poster.
yeah,
On the cover, pin-up poster was missing. He goes, if I were you, I would return it. This guy's trying to rip you off. He knows it's missing. That's why it was the price that you got it from.
yeah, you got
So
it.
it was
at
about a
cheap-
4 or 5. That brings it down to about a 0.5. It's an incomplete book. It's not worth the $80.
Yeah, yeah.
So I brought it back. The guy, he had other guys looking at his books, and he didn't want any doubting. So he just quickly ripped out $80, handed it right back to me. There you go. Thanks. Bye.
As of course he should. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you guys, if you're buying a key and you got it really cheap, there's probably a reason.
There's nothing wrong with opening the book up and really looking at it right there. Take your time if you need to.
Yeah. As my daddy used to say, there's no such thing as a free lunch.
There you go.
So yeah, so that's why you never saw it. It was
Lesson learned.
lesson learned. Be careful, especially when you're buying the high-end stuff. You're not going to get a key that cheap. Not unless there's something going on. So yeah, and shout out to Darcy at Pendragon,
Yeah.
stand-up guy. And if it wasn't for him, Mike would have made a pretty costly mistake. So
There you go.
yeah. Anyways, that just word of note, something to be cognizant of when you're buying high-end books.
Absolute.
Okay, and the last 2 books of the evening, and these ones are Mike's. Wow, really nice books there, Mike. We've got a Daredevil number 90, and
yeah.
we've got a Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 12, and they're in really nice condition. So talk to me, Mike.
Well, okay, so Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I mean, we're starting to pick it up because of the Steranko beginning.
Although this is a Smith cover, but it's in Smith riffing right off Steranko.
Oh, absolutely, but it just looks so James Bondish.
Yeah.
It's got that just cover
60,
appeal to it.
60 psychedelic vibe. That's what you buy
Absolutely,
those
I love
books
it.
for.
And for $10, I'm not going to say nay.
Oh, 10
Come on,
bucks.
$10 and
You make me want to cry.
look at the condition. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, and you can really notice it with the white cover.
Yeah, absolutely. And so right beside it, another beautiful white cover, Daredevil number 90. Now, anything under 100, very scarce. Most times they're ripped, broken, busted up covers are really.
Didn't we talk in a previous episode about sharking up on the 20-cent cover Marvel
oh, yeah,
covers?
absolutely. And then there you go. So that one was like, I think, $25. Guy knocked $5 off of
Yeah,
it.
great action cover. And again, that picture pane window style from the 20 cents that I really love from the early to mid 80s,
Yeah,
mid 70s.
yeah. Yeah, they're fantastic books, and I guess with respect to the Nick Fury, all three of us, I think it's pretty safe to say that when all's,
We're kind of hooked on that now.
I think we'll all own every single issue
Probably.
at some point, because
Yeah.
it looks like we're slowly accumulating them.
Yeah, one pickup leads to the next, and that one leads to the next, and before you realize that you have the entire run.
Have the entire run, and there's not a difficult run to get, because there aren't that many.
18 issues.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so wow, another fantastic episode, another fantastic Comic-Con. I had a great time. I love the Toronto Comic-Con, and it's not just the comic books; it's the whole atmosphere. I mean, the people walking around, the costumes. You got some of the celebrities there. It is just a really, really fun event, and this is kind of what kicks off the summer.
Yeah,
the Toronto
absolutely.
Comic-Con is the first major con of the year, leading into the new season, and
Then we get the summer release movies. All the movies that come out, including Superman, Batman, dropping this weekend.
Yeah.
Which basically revs us up. It's giving us our adrenaline to head into the fall for that big beast that's known as Fan Expo.
Fan Expo, yeah,
All the other cons and all the other cities
yeah, yeah.
throughout the summer.
Yeah,
Until
keep
the-
your game on until for the
biggie.
big one. Yep.
Got a couple of friends going to the Ottawa Comic Con. I think is in the next couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken,
And
as
in
well.
April, there's a one-day Comic Con that's happening near the airport.
At the airport, yeah. So we're going to check that out as well. And yeah, that's it. So guys, if you liked the episode, leave a comment. We love reading them, and we'll see you at the next one. Cheers.
King of the Con!
Special guest Mike, yes.